Let's it's Operation Channel Intro.
Hello, fellow YouTubers. WfC Stop Motioner here, and here's another Siege re-review. This is Transformers War for Cybertron Siege Voyager class Springer. Springer is one of my favorite characters from the original Generation 1 movie and cartoon. I just really like his personality. I mean, he's Indiana Jones as a Transformer. I mean, come on, that's awesome. And it was later in 2019, I just saw this figure at Walmart, and I realized, I could get it. So I was like, oh, what the heck, I'll go in and get him. And I was happy with him. He still has some issues, but for the most part, he is that was my water bottle. Again, it pops a lot. Or they pop a lot. But it is a very cool figure and a nice representation of G1 Springer. Now for some comparisons, here he is with the Thrilling 30 version of him, of Springer, which is based on the IDW design. So these figures both do their own things. I'll get more into the pros and cons of each one later. Now when you get the figure, it's pretty much impossible to remove the swords without bending them a little bit because they are a soft plastic. It's not like fully rubber, but it is still pretty soft. I stuck them down in warm water, and that made them a little bit more pliable, so it kind of helped. It gets a pretty good spin, whereas with the Thrilling 31, you get. Alright, never mind. That was actually a pretty good spin. Either way. Now, his helicopter mode is still my least favorite of his modes, just because this is the one where things don't really want to lock in place. Like getting these to lock in and this part to tab in on the back. It's still a good copter mode. It looks, as much like a helicopter as, it can. A futuristic helicopter. So, yeah, cool mode, just not where this figure is at its best. So, let's go to his car mode. Okay, so first off, just remove this, then fold this down, grab this gun, remove it, grab this gun, remove it. You take this, these parts, fold them down. Right here, tab that, collapse this, fold it in, tab that in, then just do the same on this side. Then you just fold this section up, and you just untab these right here. You snap that into place. Rotate right here. You want to fold this. Make sure this part stays out. Just tab that section in. Pull the feet out. Then just do the same thing on this side. Like that. Tab that in right there. This with the feet. Then you want to grab it right here, like this, and just hinge that section back. Then it's a little difficult, you just kind of have to get this tabbed into place. Triple changers a lot of times suffer from tolerance issues, but it kind of makes sense why they do. You just have that into place. And here you have his car mode. And as I said before, I like this car mode more than the helicopter mode because while the tolerances are still a little off, it has an easier time holding together. It rolls fine. And it looks really cool. Now he's covered in battle damage. A lot of people really did not like it. I personally thought it was kind of cool, but it would have been kind of nice if instead of getting labels to cover up the battle damage, it would have been nice to get labels, have labels to like give them battle damage. Now, weapon storage for this car mode. It's not good, really. It would be nice. You see there's these tabs right here and slots on the swords. And that looks good. It doesn't stay on very well, which is a shame because, I mean, this is really how I prefer his fully weaponized car mode to look. Just have this right here. I mean, you got lots of different options. You could set it up like that. And like I said, it looks cool, but it doesn't work very well. So a lot of times I have to do something like this. And I don't like that look. So most of the time when I have him in car mode, I leave him unweaponized. Here he is with the Thrilling 30 version. And this one definitely has better weapon storage. Sure, it's a big gun just slapped on top, but I don't really think it looks that bad. And you can store the sword underneath. And again, in terms of what car mode I prefer, again, it just kind of depends on what mood I'm in. Like if I want G1 aesthetic or IDW aesthetic. I haven't even read Last Stand of the Records yet, like I've been wanting to for a while. Really need to get to that. Anyway, that's the car mode. So let's go to his robot mode. So to begin, just untab this right here. Fold this section down. Pull this, pull that part in. Pull the feet down. Like so. And then there's his Gerwalk mode, I guess, if you're into that sort of thing. Alright. Then you just fold these down. Then you just kind of hinge this up. These really like to pop off. And then just kind of keep pulling it up until it kind of sits in place. And be careful, translucent plastic. Then you just fold this down, pull this up, pull this up. And then you got to get this lined up just right because there's a slot right here, a tab right here. So you have to get it lined up just right. And it's a little difficult because then there's a tab right there and a slot right. There's a lot going on this guy, really. Alright, then you just fold that up, rotate the head around. You take this. It's really not that hard of a transformation, it's just kind of hard to get it all on camera. Either way, there's Springer in his robot mode. And robot mode is very nice. It looks mostly how I think Springer should, other than the shoulders should be angled a little bit. But other than that, I mean, this is a very nice representation of G1 Springer. And again, I really liked his character. He was really cool. I really wish we'd see him more, but he's been kind of confined to the comics, and I guess that's alright. Would have been nice to see him show up in the Netflix series, which I'm going to try to choke down the final 3 episodes of Kingdom after I finish filming and uploading this. I mean, Kibble isn't too bad. Now, he does have, at least on the right specifically, a very floppy hip. Now, this could just be my copy. So, while we're on that topic, let's get into articulation. Head is on a ball joint. It's decent. I mean, you can fully rotate it up. Not really much in the way of down. Shoulders go up about this far. And you can't quite get a full 360. No. You're not going to get a full 360, unfortunately. You get rotation right here. Get a pretty good elbow bend. You get a wrist swivel. You do get a waist swivel. It's a little hindered, but I mean, really, if you wanted to, and to look good posing, it'd look a little ridiculous if it went beyond this anyway. So, kick forward this far, back that far, so that's pretty good. Angle out. Now this is another issue. You do have a knee bend, but the knee bend is actually pretty good. But it doesn't lock in very well, so this likes to come undone. You gotta kind of grab it like this if you want to move it. And you get some now movement on the foot, so you can kind of pose him like this. And then of course you get the ankle tilt. So overall, articulation is pretty darn good, which is what I've come to expect from this line. This line has had, on a fairly regular basis, has had pretty darn good articulation. Now, in terms of how you can weaponize him, I'm not going to get into all that because that's just too much. So I'm just going to talk about how I usually do it. So to begin, I just tab this in right here. Put that in back there. And I take this gun, just plug it in right there. Plug this gun in right here. And he's fully ready for battle. And again, you're not really going to have too many issues getting him into cool, heroic poses. So yeah, really quite a cool figure. Now here he is with the Thrilling 30 version, who is significantly taller. So overall, which between these two do I like better? Again, as I said, they both do a lot of things right and some things wrong. Again, it just depends. If you are looking for a good figure, just figure in general, I think I might like this one a little bit better, just because the weapon storage works better in his vehicle mode, and he has less accessories to keep track of. Like, he's just got one gun and one sword. And the sword splits to become the both helicopter blades, which I think is really good engineering. Whereas with this guy, you have to parts for. Now, granted, it does mean you get 2 swords for it, so that's really cool, but it's a lot of parts to keep track of. But other than that, really, I would just say, get this if you want G1, get this if you want IDW. So, I think that about covers Springer, so I'll go ahead and stick him on the display. So there's Springer with my 1986 display. And he looks really cool there. So overall, I think this is a good figure. If you're going for a really G1 inspired Springer, then I don't think you're going to have a whole lot to complain about with this. There's definitely some things that could have been done better. The helicopter mode doesn't tab together very well, and the swords, I really wish there was a better way for them to store in the car mode and robot mode. But overall, it's still a really great figure. And I don't think he's super expensive on the aftermarket. I really need to start looking these up and seeing how much they're worth so I can give a better description. But either way, that's Sage Springer. So, if you like this video, please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and God bless. Okay, now the next Siege figures I got were actually part of a huge batch of figures. Not huge, but a group of figures. And I'm going to let you, as the viewer, decide who you want me to review next. And whoever gets the most vote, or at least gets a vote, will be the one I review. So, please comment below which one you want me to review.